Can you see the white squares? How about now? Are they white? What about now? Is this better? Can you see the two squares now? How about if I brighten the background? Can you see the two white squares? What if you make them not white? What colours are they now? What does it look like if we swap them? And then back again. Now let's brighten the background even more. And why not change the colour of the squares? Let's make them opposite to the background on each side, which means they are the same colour as the background on the opposite side. And without the background. And gone. Or are they?
This video is my homage to the colorist, Josef Albers. His modernist techniques for dealing with colour are observed in his seminal works Interaction of Colour and Homage to the Square. These have influenced the way designers understand and use colour in their work to this day. One such designer, a former student of Albers, is Jane Davis Doggett, best known for her revolutionary modernist designs for airport wayfinding systems. I'm going to present key milestones in the life of Josef Albers, include examples of his work, and discuss his tremendous influence on 20th century design. In particular, this is highlighted through his teaching period in the United States of America at Black Mountain College between 1933 and 1949, and at Yale between 1950 and 1958. Then further with examples of the work of Jane Davis Doggett, demonstrating just one instance of his vast influence. Josef Albers led an extraordinary life, beginning in Germany and later heading to America, where it was that he created his greatest work. Albers was born in Germany in 1888. It was here that he worked as a schoolteacher and printmaker before enrolment as a student of the Bauhaus in 1920. By 1922, Albers was invited to join the faculty of the Bauhaus and began teaching in the preliminary course. Josef later married one of his students, Anneliese Fleischmann, in 1925. Upon the closure of the Bauhaus in 1933, the Albers moved to America. Josef became the head of the painting program at Black Mountain College until 1949. The following year, Josef became the head of the Department of Design at Yale University, and it was at Yale that he produced his most renowned work. Albers' most notable achievements are in his book, Interaction of Colour, and in a series of paintings, Homage to the Square. It is in these works that we learn the incredible ability that Josef Albers had to see colour, although more importantly, to help the rest of us see colour in the same way. Every perception of colour is an illusion. We do not see colours as they really are. In our perception, they alter one another. A quote from Albers concerning his Homage to the Square paintings. This quote is substantiated by his paintings, in which Albers reveals his ideas on colour through beautifully executed examples, demonstrating the way colours influence each other, changing in our perception as we look at them. When observing one of the red paintings, where red is the only colour used, all four squares can be identified. Whilst continuing to look, one or more squares seem to disappear as the shades of red now appear the same. We recognise that the painting has not changed, so it must be in our perception that the colour now looks different.
Look at this group of red paintings. You will see squares come and go before your eyes. You'll see colors evaporate into other colors. Joseph told me with great pride that the photographer Cartier-Bresson said to him, "You paint circular squares." By this he meant the corners disappear. Look at these paintings. Corners disappear, light appears, and you enjoy the miracle of seeing.
The Homage to the Square series consists of approximately 1,000 paintings that utilise the same simple compositional structure, which may at first appear to be a very narrow conceptual framework, reveals itself as one of extraordinary perceptual complexity, from a Tate Gallery label in 2012. These paintings appear deceptively simple, just squares of colour. However, on further inspection, they reveal the true mastery of Albers' exploration of colour theory, allowing each viewer the opportunity to see and experience the colour in the way that Josef Albers intended. This series of paintings was started by Albers in 1950, at the age of 62, and was maintained throughout the rest of his life until 1976. Interaction of Colour, published in 1963, represents the culmination of years of teaching experience dealing with colour and contains a selection of the best student responses to his questionings. Albers believed, good teaching is more a giving of the right questions than a giving of the right answers. As such, he posed these colour explorations to his students. For instance, make 2 appear as 3, or find the middle colour. These explorations are documented in such a way that they can be followed and you can learn for yourself to see colour. The plates at the back of the book provide visual evidence of approaches that other students have taken to resolve solutions to Albers' questions. I have used a similar approach in the introduction to this video. The colour activities in this book deal with the way that colours interact with and affect each other, yet also with our perception of those colours. The relationship between figure and ground is as important as the individual colours chosen for each activity. These colour experiments are conducted with paper rather than paint, so that students are not limited by ability, or a lack of, to mix paint, becoming a pure exercise in observing colour. This book has, without a doubt, changed the way the designers in the 20th century have employed colour. Jane Davis Doggett studied under Albers at Yale, graduating in 1956. As an early student of Josef Albers, she took his famed Interaction of Colour course and absorbed Albers' inspired principles of perception while establishing her own strong artistic identity. A quote from the Society for Experiential Graphic Design. In 1959, she designed a wayfinding system for Memphis Airport. Her success on the project led to her becoming the foremost expert in airport wayfinding systems, having now designed over 40. She is credited with several innovations that are now used consistently in airports, notably her use of colour, letter and symbol to guide visitors through large unfamiliar places, also from the Society for Experiential Graphic Design. This use of graphic language starts out on the highway as you approach the airport and continues with you until you are on the plane. Jane Davis Doggett followed in the modernist footsteps of Josef Albers. Her approach to wayfinding systems was to simplify with emphasis on colour and symbol. The purpose of wayfinding signage is to help people navigate unfamiliar places. A magnificent example of the modernist principles of form follows function, true materials, and minimalism is the reduction of signage down to clear symbols with effective use of colour, just like Albers himself would have done. As Doggett's experience grew, she was further involved in the design process of entire airports. This holistic approach yielded even more successful results. After all, the ultimate goal of all art is the building, from the Bauhaus Manifesto by Walter Gropius in 1919. Jane Davis Doggett was fortunate enough to learn directly from Josef Albers. As for the rest of us, he created Interaction of Colour and Homage to the Square so that we could all learn the valuable colour lessons that he had to offer. Arguably, his greatest legacy is in his approach to teaching. By leaving behind these tools, we can all learn to perceive colour just as the students of the Bauhaus, Black Mountain College and Yale did all those years ago. This is due to an ability to conduct the same colour experiments, or we can stare at Ascending at the Whitney Museum of American Art and draw conclusions of what this or other paintings in the series have to offer. The period of international modernism is as a direct result of teachers like Josef Albers taking up positions at prestigious institutions worldwide after the closure of the Bauhaus and teaching their modernist philosophies developed at the Bauhaus to all new audiences. Without Josef Albers, we would not have the same appreciation for or understanding of colour. Therefore, his impact on the development of design in the 20th century is immense.